Hello and welcome to our inaugural edition of the Bison Basketball Show here on Midco Sports Network. Brian Shawn here with you as we start our coverage of NDSU men's and women's basketball on our network. And of course, you see behind me the brand new Scheels Center at the Sanford Health Athletic Complex, a beautiful facility that has been renovated over the last 2 years that cost nearly $50 million. We were fortunate to have athletic director Matt Larson give us a behind-the-scenes tour on all the new Shack has to offer to student athletes and the coaches.
One of the great things about the Sanford Health Athletic Complex is really now we have all of our student-athlete resources under one roof, from academics, sports medicine, strength conditioning, all their coaches' offices, all their locker rooms in one space. So this area is kind of a central hub. We're standing right outside the academic area, but their locker rooms are right off of this space. It's an area where they can kind of congregate and hang out. And then down the hallway, we have equipment services, sports medicine, and then right below us here is strength and conditioning. So a great kind of the nerve center really of our student athletes' day and all the areas that they're going to use. Here we are in our student athlete academic center, a great space for a couple reasons. One, it's from current student athletes, our full-time academic advisor here, working with them on class schedules, progress towards degree, and then also setting up with tutors, study hall spaces. And so what you see in this space is a lot of different functional space. Behind us, we have a computer lab for student athletes to come in, work on papers, do research. A lot of different study areas here based on the way student athletes study the best. We have a dark room in the back. Over here, we have a kinesio ballroom. We also have treadmills where they can read or do some homework while walking and keeping active. So it's really a great space, a really functional space for our student athletes. Behind me is our Gate City Bank Fueling Center. This is an area that we're really excited about because, again, I think athletic program at our level, this is unique. But something that we put so much time and energy into training our student athletes. We want to make sure we're fueling their bodies the right way. And so what you'll see here is an opportunity for them to grab and go foods. And they may be running from training to class or practice and maybe not have an opportunity to go to the dining hall, so they can get a lot of that nutrition right here. The other piece that's really unique is we're going to have a residential stove in here. So much of our strength coaches meet with our student athletes and talk about the importance of nutrition. So maybe what to buy at grocery stores, but then also how to prepare it when they're back in their dorm rooms or their apartments. And so some really unique pieces here, but something that, in terms of making sure our student athletes, all the right things are going into their bodies, this really provides that. So now we're in the weight room portion of our strength and conditioning area, and so much I think the calling card of Bison Athletics is really our toughness and our conditioning. Whether it's football or basketball or track and field and wrestling and all those sports, so much of it starts in this room here. And one of the great parts about this is of being able to design it from the ground up, and our strength coaches, Jim Kramer and Jason Miller, were able to really design this to be, again, to try to get our student athletes in the most efficient way possible, but also to be able to service all 425 student athletes and be able to get multiple teams in here throughout the course of the day. So an area that we're really proud of. And again, when you talk about the foundation of Bison Athletics, a lot of that starts right here in this room. All right, so this is our hydro room in our sports medicine area. Really what this place offers is a lot of really kind of state-of-the-art technology in terms of, the biggest thing here is trying to get our athletes back to competition as soon as possible. And so one of the really unique features we have here is our underwater treadmill. And so a way for student athletes coming back from injuries to be able to do some of those things without all the pounding. And so you get some anti-gravity rehabilitation mechanisms here. And then over here we have a cold plunge and also a hot plunge. The nice thing here in terms of what we used to have is the consistent temperatures throughout these areas, and also the ability to get more student athletes there. So again, the whole idea here is be as efficient as possible, but also as effective as possible in trying to get our student athletes back to play. One of the unique aspects of the Sanford Health Athletic Complex in our sports medicine area, and one of the areas we're probably most proud of is this room. This is our x-ray room. Very few athletic departments around the country, regardless of level, have their own X-ray machine in the room, and that was, speaks to really our great partnership with Sanford Health and their ability to provide this, but also provide a radiology technician to be able to come a couple times a week to be able to provide X-rays that the images are sent back directly to our orthopedic surgeons or the doctors that need to see them. And so, again, in terms of efficiency and effectiveness and trying to get our student athletes back to play as soon as possible. So here we are in the men's basketball actual locker room space, really functional the way it's set up, so Coach Richman can be in here at halftime, be able to address the guys, all eyes on him, be able to draw up any pregame or halftime adjustments. And again, so much of it is about wanting them to be in a space that, one, it's efficient, it serves all their needs, but also is a place of source of pride and things that they're going to be really excited about. So here we are in the Scheels Center, 5,700 seats, great fan amenities, and I think some of the things we're most excited about, or outside of our student athletes, I think being able to play in a brand new facility is what it's going to mean for our fans. Great amenities, from concessions to restrooms, better seating, better fan environment, better game atmosphere, and I think once this place is full and the noise close to the rafters, it's going to be a great home court advantage for both our men's and women's basketball teams and our wrestling team.
The Bison men opened the new Scheels Center at the Sanford Health Athletic Complex with an impressive victory over Concordia Moorhead in exhibition play. Deng Gu, the redshirt freshman out of Sioux Falls, showing his athletic ability, getting inside for the two-hand stuff. Not done again. Look at the long stride to the rim for two more. Gu continuing to show off his athleticism, leaking out in transition. He had 13 points on the night on 6 of 8 shooting. A lot to like with the young man from Sioux Falls. Kai Cabellis led the Bison with 16 points on the night, showing off his long-range game, stepping up and knocking down the triple. And then in transition, slicing through the defense, finishing with the right off the window. And Cabellis turning in an impressive performance. A lot expected out of this young man this season. This one with the left hand. The Bison win at 90-53 after jumping out to a 27-9 lead. Dexter Warner 1 point short of a double-double. Stay with us. We check in with head coach Dave Richman in a sit-down interview as the Bison Basketball Show continues here on Midco Sports Network.
The Bison Basketball Show on Midco Sports Network is presented by Nodak Mutual Insurance Company and Minn-Kota Windows.
Welcome back to the NDSU Basketball Show, joined now by head coach Dave Richman and the Bison men getting set for their regular season opener here at home against Arkansas State. And Dave, how exciting is it for your team to finally get out on this floor? You had the exhibition game, but this is a whole different deal now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really exciting for us to kind of see things get pieced together on a weekly basis. We've been fortunate to be in the Nodak Mutual Performance Center since almost a year now. It's crazy to think about that, but for our guys to be all under one roof, and practice, working out, academics, being able to grab something from the nutrition bar, our office is being right upstairs. It's been special. So many thanks to so many people, but we're really excited to tip this thing off.
And now when you look at this squad, you and I talked about how young this team still really is in a lot of ways, and I think sometimes we forget about that just because of the experience of the guys that have played.
Yeah, to me it says a lot about our league and how young our league is when we're probably the team with the most known parts. And of our 13 scholarship kids, 8 are underclassmen. Of the 5 that are upperclassmen, only 3 have been really consistently practicing with us, with Malik being out for the year and AJ still being banged up. So it's been an interesting fall camp, so to speak. But I think in the long run, it's going to help us out. It's throwing some of the young guys, a Dangu, a Tyson Ward, a Jared Samuelson, some of those type guys under the microscope a little bit, which I think can help our depth and really help us progress as we keep moving forward.
I know one thing coaches do in the offseason is look at how can we get better, what didn't we do well, what did we do well. What are some of those things that you guys had a chance to look at and try to correct and try to improve here moving into this season?
Everything for me and for us always starts defensively. And our numbers have been very good defensively as far as statistically where we rank within the league. And we need to sustain that. We need to be a little bit more disciplined with some things. Do a better job of our gap principles. We talk about keeping people out of the paint all the time, and we can do a better job of that. But I think the biggest area that we need to improve on, and I think will really translate into how we are and who we are defensively as well, is we need to get better offensively. And just by our personnel, our spacing will be better. I think we've put a more of an emphasis on spacing and where we need to be on the court. But we can't lose our identity, Brian, and that's what we're really stressing to our guys. We will be better offensively by just who we put out, but don't get comfortable. Again, just because we're better offensively, we can't relax defensively. That needs to be the staple of who we are, defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball.
You talked about taking care of the ball. That's been such a huge part of it. Yeah, you're going to miss some shots, but at the same time, it's a huge part of it.
Yeah, I think I was very fortunate early September to go out and spend some time with Coach Stevens and the Celtics. And one of the big things that really stuck with me out there is you can't win until you eliminate losing. And if you really think about that, it's a term the Patriots use a lot. And if we're turning the ball over, we're losing. And we think we're pretty good 5-on-5 defensively, but if we're turning it over and they're getting out in transition on us, we can't fight you 5-on-5. And so it really starts with our offense that way.
All right, thanks for the time, Dave. We're looking forward to the show and looking forward to the season. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Congratulations to you and your family. We're excited to move forward.
All right, thanks so much. The Bison Basketball Show rolls on after this. Welcome back to the Bison Basketball Show, joined now by NDSU women's basketball coach Maren Walseth in her third season. And Maren, really a whole period of transition this year for you and your staff and your team. 6 returners, 6 newcomers. What's that been like for you as a coach, trying to mix the old with the new?
Well, first of all, the first day of summer school, our squad doubled in size. All of a sudden, it took 3 cars to get anywhere, not just one when they packed in. But it's been a very exciting time for us, adding 6 new faces on the court, 3 new staff members, and obviously a brand new, beautiful facility. There's been a lot of really positive change. It's been exciting and very propelling in all of our workouts.
I know the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse was home the last couple of years, but now, like you said, having everything under one roof, where academics, nutrition, lifting weights, all that stuff, how much has that made it easier for you and your staff?
It makes it very smooth. It's not necessarily any easier because it is a lot of hard work. Being a student athlete at NDSU is challenging, but there's that level of smoothness and ease when we are all in one space. And that really is beneficial for the student athletes in managing their time and making things more efficient for them.
Transitioning student athletes into team life, but also as student athletes away from the court is always kind of a tough part as well. But all 6 of these new kids seem to be transitioning really well, and they're all going to see the court at some point this year.
They will, and they're doing great. And a lot of that is a direct reflection of the leadership of our squad. The 6 veterans, starting on day 1, they each had a freshman. They met him at the dorms. They helped him move in. They got him to Target. They got him to Hornbachers. So it's really been, the ease has come from our upperclassmen and our returners being very selfless and willing to be helpful and show them the ropes.
You were able to add some different expertise to your staff a little bit, and bringing in some different skill sets from different areas of the country. How much has that helped, bringing in those different viewpoints with some of these new players and some of the returners? Yes, the new staff is, hand-selected in a way to challenge me and to challenge Keith and to challenge kind of how it's been in a very positive way. I purposely hired people that I knew of, but I didn't know personally, that have come from different places and have those different experiences to bring new energy and new ideas to the table. How have you changed now going into your 3rd season? I know it was kind of drinking from a fire hose your first year, especially getting the job so late, but I'm guessing now very much more comfortable in terms of having a routine and how you like to do things. I think that's exactly right, having a routine. You don't know what you don't know for the first year, year and a half, and it is a fire hose every single day. And now being in the same facility as everybody, things are much more smooth, but also just the rhythm and the routine of what a day looks like, what a week looks like, and having some consistency amongst the day-to-day routine is just makes things easier. There's still challenges. It's probably smoother for us, and for that I'm really thankful. Well, Maren, we're looking forward to the season coming up, and thanks for joining us, and we'll see a lot more here down the road. Thank you, Brian. All right, the Bison Basketball Show continues after this. Welcome back to the Bison Basketball Show here on Midco Sports Network. North Dakota State has had a lot of successful coaches over the years, many of them moving on to different opportunities throughout other areas of the country. Greg Ankers had a chance to sit down with a number of those coaches who were recently back for a coaching clinic on campus.
It is truly an honor to be joined by the 4 gentlemen to my right, former coaches here at North Dakota State, and of course the present, Dave Richman. Coaching is such a fraternity, as you guys all talk about. I'm curious to know, in this day and age, with the different ways that you can communicate with one another, do you guys keep in touch, or is today a reunion that's almost like you're reintroducing yourselves to each other again? Tell me what that's like.
I think technology, Saul only FaceTimes now. That's his deal. So
Unfortunately.
So yeah, exactly.
It's intrusive.
Yeah, but no, I mean, this is what's great for myself as a only just finished my second year as a head coach, and I've just started to gain really a friendship and a relationship with Coach Biller. I didn't work directly with him, so that's been fun for me. But these two right here, everything I do or about everything that we do is probably bounced off one or the other. In particular, Saul. When we took over, there's still some current players, and a lot of the same things. There's a culture that's been established here, not only within the department, but within our basketball program that Coach Miles really helped start as we took from infancy, from 2 to 1, and so they understand this program, this culture better than anybody. And so I'd be crazy, and we'd be crazy as a staff not to lean on them and their experiences, their resources.
I actually didn't know Miles was still coaching.
Yeah.
I completely. We talked a couple times. He asked for money. I didn't give it to him, and I just figured it was how I always envisioned Miles' path going. But lo and behold, he's at Nebraska. Go figure.
But I remember when Tom came back from, he had been out and he came back and took the Augustana job, and we played him our last year in the North Central. And he says, they say things at home never change, but the BSA never changes.
Well, it has now. It hadn't changed from when I left in '97. I can tell you.
That perfectly leads into the next question I wanted to ask you guys that are visiting here today. Is perfectly played, Tim. You walk in here and you have to almost relearn where to go, don't you? I mean, with the beautiful practice facility we're sitting in here today, the renovations at the arena. It's not the same place that you used to know.
It's totally different, and the biggest difference is, and again, I said it upstairs, but I meant it, it's still the same place, the same location. The venue is totally different, and the thing that I think, just sitting in a practice facility like this is fantastic. And this was needed to be done. It's long in coming, in my opinion, in a certain way, but they did it the right way, and it's wonderful that it's here. It's true, right? It's been real long, because I wanted it in '92, so it's really long in coming.
What I'm confused about is I have the drawings at home from 2003, and from CDFM Squared or somebody like that down in Kansas City, the architects, and I checked them out, so I know where I was going, and I walked into 3 walls, so apparently they changed everything.
This is exactly what you promised Ben Woodside, and you came through on your word. If he would have been eligible for 47 years, he would have played in this facility. Congratulations.
We're very, very excited for our own kids, for them to have a practice facility. Less than a year ago, we were in a warehouse with 19-foot high ceilings and 2 baskets. We were watching film on a white plastered wall, and now they come in here and they're literally speechless with smiles on their face for 10, 15 seconds. That's what I'm very appreciative of, and so many people have contributed to it. But for our current guys to be able to have a lounge to just relax in, they're not lifting weights in a grocery store. They don't have to come and visit us in an office, over in the industrial park. And we made all that work. Our guys eliminated excuses, but we will use this as a piece in recruiting, make no mistake. But I'm most happy and most pleased for our current guys to be able to utilize this.
I'll throw something back. I think we all can say this. We learned to recruit. I mean, for the years we were here with what we had, and you're fighting. I remember I was recruiting a kid named Marcel Johnson that eventually came here as a great player for us. And Alaska Anchorage's temperatures were warmer than Fargo, and that was one of the schools he was really looking at. So you're colder than Alaska, and so really and truly you learned how to recruit and what you had to do to get kids here. And once they were here, they loved it because it's a great place, but you really did have to. Now, when you have something like this, I mean, Dave should be winning national championships.
Excuses are out the window.
I've been disappointed in Dave's performance thus far. That's a whole other issue.
Well, I think the pineapples need to be bigger in the grocery store to lift. I don't think your strength is very good.
Exactly.
Is that what Tom alluded to, maybe one of the biggest things that you take away from your time here at North Dakota State, is that recruiting aspect, or are there other things that you picked up here that you've carried on in your other coaching professions?
Well, the one thing that always stuck with me was the one wall where the weight room used to be on the second floor until they moved it right over our offices, which I thought was an error in judgment. That's just me. And so, but it had the 2 Bison running at each other, and it says "Bring on the competition." And when we made the move to Division I, it was a bold move, and there was other schools like UND wouldn't go. We're dead set and adamant against it. We are not doing this. And we asked a lot of teams to come with us, and nobody would until South Dakota State did shortly thereafter. And as we went out and pitched it to the public, it was really amazing that our fans got behind it, and they said, we'll do it. We can do it.
I'll tell you something else, though, and I think it goes for everybody. How many schools that when we were all here, you go and speak to so many functions and so many things, so you learn how to speak in front of boosters,
Yeah.
you learn how to fundraise, you learn the grassroots of being a complete coach, and that helped everybody get
And
to
we're all
wherever they are.
introverts, which is hard to overcome.
It's hard to believe that we had trouble speaking in front of people.
Come out of your shell.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, in very few schools, when we were Division II in 1995, you'd go to Team Acres and there'd be 200 people out there listening to you, and Bucky and Rocky and everybody listening to you talk.
Whoa, Bucky.
How is this
He never missed a chance. He was always there every opportunity. But what a great opportunity. I was 31 years old and I got this job, and you're getting all those opportunities to do that, sort of thing. And I think it helped everybody that's sitting right here. I think we're complete. I think it really helps you become more complete as a head coach.
Guys, it's a real treat to have you all here. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us today, and hopefully we'll see you back here again real soon. Thanks for your time.
Thanks to all three coaches for sitting down with us, and we wish all three of them best of luck as their seasons get started here this month. Stay with us. We'll be back to wrap up the Bison Basketball Show on Midco Sports Network.
The Bison Basketball Show on Midco Sports Network is presented by Nodak Mutual Insurance Company and Mincoda Windows.
Welcome back to the Bison Basketball Show. We are excited to be your home for NDSU men's and women's basketball this season with 24 live telecasts scheduled over the next 4 months. Stay with us for tonight's game as the NDSU women hit the floor for the first time here at the Scheels Center against Bemidji State at 7 p.m. We'll see you next week on the Bison Basketball Show on Midco Sports Network.